I was like, holy crap, that's Aaron Rodgers. Wow, like this is legit. He throws this thing as hard as humanly possible. He was demanding.
Did the media paint it a lot different than the reality of the situation? What was your first impression of Aaron Rodgers like? Was there a moment where you saw him in practice and you're just like, oh, this is different?
Yeah. I remember my first day just seeing him, and I was like, I mean, I think as I got older in the NFL, like maybe at first, like there's some like starstruckness, you know what I mean? Like you see a guy and you're like, oh wow, that's so-and-so or whatever. So I think that kind of went down as my career went. But when my first day with him, it was as high as it's ever been. I was like, holy crap, that's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is one of the greatest players of all time. And I remember my first day, I had a lift, and he was in our little indoor facility, kind of just had the script with him, and he was just doing things, visualizing things, going through the huddle, going up to the ball, just doing it all by himself. And I was like, wow, like this is legit. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. And then he introduced himself to me and welcomed me and said, whatever you need, let me know. You know, I mean, very nice. And then we went to the practice field. And it's funny knowing what I know now. We do it's called pat and go. You know, it's warm up. Quarterback pats the ball and you run just like a fade. And it's mainly just to like warm up, get loose, all this stuff. I get out there and I'm like, line up all the way out there. I'm like, Aaron Rodgers is about to throw me a ball. I'm like, holy crap, this is freaking awesome. He throws this thing as high in the sky as possible. As high, and I'm like trying to like do everything that I can to find this ball because it's as launched as high as he can. And now, like I said, it's funny now because he does that on purpose for the new guy, because the new guy wants to like make sure like he proves himself.
Probably the most nerve-wracking warm-up route
the first
you've
one
ever
ever.
run too.
You know what I mean? So like you want to make a good first impression. Like everyone's just getting easy throws, all this stuff, and I get a ball launched, and it's funny because like I said, what I know now, it's like he does that for everyone's first day, like when you come on. And also too, he'll do this thing. This was memorable too.
Did you catch it?
I did. But no one really said anything, and which is fine. And but then we went to team period, and I ran a little stick route, 5 yards. You know what I mean? Not a very far throw. He throws this thing as hard as humanly possible the second that I come out the break. And I was like, whew, you know what I mean? And then I come back to the huddle and like everyone's laughing. And I'm like, what's everybody laughing at? You know what I mean? What's so funny? And like everyone's laughing at how Aaron does that. Like he just wants to test guys right when they get there by throwing the ball as hard. And yeah, this guy's got the greatest arm ever. You know what I mean? Like he's got zip on his ball. And so I caught that pass, and he kind of just gave me a wink when I came back to the huddle, and everybody laughed, and it was a cool experience. And then it was cool to be able to start our relationship like that. So it was awesome.
Did the media paint it a lot different than the reality of the situation? Because at that point in time, that year, and I believe the next year, which would have been his final in Green Bay, he was getting shredded. And I don't know if you pay attention to that stuff, but he was getting shredded for like not being a good teammate to the younger guys, being all about himself, things like that. Is it a lot different from that inside the locker room? I
think it is. I think the only thing that I saw with him is that he was one of the greatest competitors I've ever seen. He's not a bad teammate. He wants to raise your level to his. And I think that's what gets a bad view. It's people that don't know what it's like to be in that huddle and be in that locker room. I don't think any player on the team would tell you he's a bad teammate. He was demanding, but does that make you a bad teammate? I don't think so. If he sees my potential at this and I'm at this and he's demanding of that, I don't see that as a bad teammate. I see that as a great teammate. That's someone that wants to get the best out of me. And I think that single-handedly has impacted my career so much, because when you go into the huddle in a game with Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Aaron Jones, your expectations is here. It's at the roof. And you better not let anyone in that huddle down. You better not. It's an accountability thing. Like, these are the best guys in the league. You better not be the one that ruins this whole thing. So your standard gets from here to here. It raises just with the competition, the demand that these guys put on you. So that, I think, is the single greatest thing that has happened to me in the NFL, is being surrounded by those guys and having the standard set so high for myself that you're either going to fall off or you're going to reach that standard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been one of the biggest things in my whole
did
career.
Some people get rubbed the wrong way and you were like, hey, this is good. He's holding me to a high standard. Like, I'm going to rise with it.
I think the beauty of Green Bay and just general NFL is that if you don't rise to that occasion, they're going to find somebody else that will. So I think that's how the league works. It's a performance-based business. If you're not going to rise to that level of performance, unfortunately, you're going to get let go and you're going to go somewhere else, and they'll find someone else to do it. But I think that was the beauty of what has made everyone in Green Bay so special, is because the expectations are extremely high all the time.
Mm-hmm.